congratulations, you made it. Told you, I'm taking you to a great spot. But this place used to be something relevant to the history of Charleston. For those of you going to be using communication devices, which looks like everybody's going to be jumping in, especially with yours, Sarah, with this open speaker. This is where I start withholding information on purpose. You're not going to know everything that I know about the space, and I'm not going to give you questions like what color was George Washington's White Horse, like what we did over there with the Big Red Barn. So kind of keep that in mind. You're going to get the answers from those devices. So what is this place? This used to be the Eliza and Charles Pinckney Mansion. Their mansion actually sat in the front of this space where the two cars were parked up there. That was kind of like the carriage house. Eliza's garden was lined up with Five Church Restaurant and came all the way across to about where we're standing right here. And then the servant and slave quarters were in the back of the space. It actually overlapped the median that we currently have, but we're talking about something that's 300 years old. So, who the heck were these people? Eliza and Charles had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 Chucks, in case you lost count. That's why we look for those secondary clues. I need to know that if Chase hears the name Charles, which one we're actually talking to. So that way we wait for that secondary clue to solidify and verify who it is. But the son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. It's not a big deal for me, or I hate politics. Like it's a big deal for South Carolinians because this is where these people were raised. But I hate politics, and we're actually going to move on. Do me a favor on yours, Rachel. Go ahead and stop your recording. So let's talk about Eliza. She married Charles at a young age, according to today's standards. If the two of you are going to be asking Eliza how old she was when she got married, back in the 1700s, girls got married when they were like 12 and 14. That's not the age, right? So you would be
married.
But don't think of those type of numbers. Think of today's standards of when people get married. The reason I bring that up is because her husband was over double her age when they married. There's a big age gap back then, the age gap now. So just kind of putting that thought process in the back of your brain. But anyway, she married him because her father was over in England, where Eliza's from, where her family's from anyway. And the father thought he was dying. He's trying to bring all of his children home one last time so he can see them. Eliza didn't believe he was dying. She stayed put, got married. It's 1744. You don't get married in that year to get a green card because we're not a country yet. She did marry him out of love, and there's no foul play here. No love affairs, no cheating, nothing like that. This is a true love story, so don't poke the bear when you guys are out there asking questions. Anyway, back to Eliza. She was right. Dad did not die right away. Instead, he starts sending her apologetic gifts to where we're standing right now. One of those gifts happens to be the plant seeds of indigo. Eliza loved botany. It was a big deal for her. What the hell is indigo? You guys have been in town for at least a day that I know of. You've seen the word indigo, but it's a plant that makes blue dye that makes her blue jeans blue. Somebody's got it on, I'm guaranteeing it. Nobody's got it on tonight? Holy cow.
Too hot for that stuff.
Yeah.
I am also the only one wearing pants. Look at me.
Well, you were smart because I'm getting eaten by a little
That's
mosquitoes.
exactly why I still wear pants in the summertime. No. Well, I guess because, my ankles get really bad. So, they go straight after my ankles.
That's what I've been doing the whole time.
It just looks bad, so I just learned to wear pants all the time. Back to Eliza. So, when she got the seeds, she didn't know what to do with them. She had to learn from her servants and slaves how to keep it cultivated, because it's not always hot here, believe it or not. It actually gets pretty cold. And yes, I'm from the north, and it gets cold down here. I know what cold feels like. But anyway, once she learned how to make the dye, she moved it to a cash crop, got a hold of her dad, and said, rice plantations are going downhill. We're going to make a killing with this indigo. And we now have an international businesswoman during colonial times. Something absolutely unheard of. Women did not run businesses in the 1700s. So, I know, right? A lot of girl power here. So, that's the boring business stuff. Let's get into the weird shit, because that's why you guys are all here. So we're going to keep it nice and simple, because we're only using 2 communication devices tonight. So yours only gives us like 1 to 2 syllable answers, because it's taking out a lot of that static. So you're going to go after the mansion's not here anymore. So find out what happened to it by asking Eliza directly. If you get the what, it normally will give you the date. So 2 out of the 3 numbers will show up. So it's obviously the month, the day, and the year. So again, I also want you to, both of you, keep in mind, don't get discouraged if you're asking questions, or anybody for that matter. Just keep in mind, we also have 2 video recorders going, plus my voice recorder. That answer can go anywhere, which is why I always, even when I have a small group of 2 or 3 people, there's always 2 pieces of communication. I want to see where it's going to land. So if you get, something that's weird, you may have asked a question about what happens in a mansion, so forth and so on. You're getting my point, even though those are your questions. You can also go after the marriage questions, how old she was, how old Charles was, or how long they were married. So we're going to keep yours nice and simple. Chase, with yours, how high? Nope, those are solar. They do not create EMF.
Really?
64, and even if it did, it's not going to go all the way to 64.
It's a 64.4, and now it's back down to 0.
That's how it goes. That's the beauty of review. So, with yours, you're going to go after Eliza's death. So, 4 major questions that we get answers to. How old she was when she died. What did she die from? Where she was buried. What president was Paul buried at? Sorry, there's other questions that we can normally ask, but we're still pretty close to a tragic date of the family, so we're going to stay clear of it. The other thing I'm going to ask is do not ask about Eliza's children. Please stay away from that whole topic altogether. I'll explain why before we leave the space. So we're going to get you unmuted. Go ahead and get that button smacked. Have you heard anything else? Besides start tomorrow? It's the only button there. So Brad, you didn't get any reading when she found that at all? And that's how it works. Like, if it goes all the way that high, and it's going to go away real fast. It has to be an anomalous thing that we're looking for. Otherwise, if it was staying out, just keep in mind if people going in their car, Rachel.
Yeah, I saw her.
Doing it, I set it up to do it all on its own, so you don't have to worry about holding a button or anything like that. It's just doing it auto, and hopefully you're only going to get working with voice. So again, it's not all going to be tangible where you can actually hear it physically and clearly. You're looking for those things that were clear, and don't second guess yourself. Whatever you hear is what you hear. You can hear the word tornado, and I want to know what you heard the word tornado. Even though you don't feel like it's relevant to the space, it might be weird, but we're going to take it as what do I need to know about tornadoes. So, beauty about, I do want you to also stick, am I getting the dynamic right here from mom, dad, kid?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes you guys bring nieces, I don't know who's who.
Nope, she's mine and
If you
his.
stay close to mom while she's recording, it will pick up the audio from your spirit box in case you miss anything. So that way it'll at least be on the audio the same way. What do you got?
What is 220? That's what I found.
Okay. So your baseline at this point on yours is going to be, we're just going to keep it at that 20.
Oh, really?
So we're going to keep escalating it up until, because I don't want a whole notebook full of numbers.
Okay.
But I'll take a 20 for sure. Because anything above a 20, we're just going to keep it moving up. So Brad, you still got nothing? Nope.
So I have a question for you.
What's that?
Will it picked up my shadow? Is that
Yes.
normal? Okay.
It's an absence of light.
Okay.
So it thinks something is in front of something else.
Gotcha.
So good question. I'm glad we caught it early.
Yep.
So
I just saw it a second ago.
Yep.
And then as far as like the vehicle a minute ago, not that when she walked by, but before that, that white car it picked up something.
okay.
So I don't know.
It's in front of something else.
Okay.
So we also have to look at like where were the dots and where did it line
Right.
up.
I mean, it wasn't human-like. It was just
Then more than
scattered.
likely just picking up.
Okay.
I will also tell you when I talked to the developer of this app, because I wanted to make sure it was legit, because again, you guys have seen the big giant
Right.
chunky ones, right?
Yeah.
This is using Apple's LiDAR technology.
Okay.
And I asked him like, hey, how does this work? He's like, it's always going to try to make a figure out of it.
Out
Like,
of
that's
something.
that's the way it's designed. So it's not always going to be that person hanging from a tree or those kind of things. It's the scatter of leaves that are in the tree that are making it look like that. So that's why it's a lot of debunking with this.
Gotcha.
Hello.
That's scary.
That's what it's going to
Start
do.
talking to him.
Remember, they're not in the box. You don't need to hold it to your face. Most people do that.
I'm surprised she didn't. That's why I giggled.
That's a hello out of there. We're going to take it. But yeah, this one I like when it's open air and it's a nice small group like this because that way all
It's just
three
like
people.
it's staticky right here, so I'm trying to see like isn't it?
Well, you want to get voices. You
Yeah,
gotta
I
move
know.
around a little bit.
So is it okay if I talk to it too? We both can. Okay.
Okay, because I'm gonna need some help.
She gets nervous,
Group
so
effort. There's no
okay.
right or wrong way to
I
do
get a
this.
little nervous when it starts, and then when I get into it, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm
Yeah. By the end of the night.
You're going to have fun. This is how this is going to go all night long, by the way. Like, this is, we're not going anywhere malevolent. We're not going anywhere dark where it's dangerous for me to take strangers.
Gotcha.
Like, again, this is ghost hunting, real history, real people.
Gotcha.
So, again, truly nothing to be scared of. And I mean, that's how Paul was saying thing, because I know he was a little worried to begin with as well. But again, I'm not, there's certain places around town I won't take you. I'm listening to that as a by the way. Sorry, trained ear, been doing
Yeah.
this for over a decade.
I'm sure.
So, but yeah, I don't take you guys to certain places on purpose. Like,
Understandable. Well, we don't want to take anything home either.
yeah, and you won't. And there's
Okay.
things around my bag to kind of keep everything nice and neat.
So
Okay,
you say
perfect.
this is Eliza's garden?
No, this way. So this would have been the house, and then the garden was right here, and then obviously servant quarters towards the back.
She said the words light and alone.
Light and a low. She's getting the gist of it. That's good.
All right, you want to come over here?
We're gonna go to our gardens.
Okay, it's hard because the. What did they say? You can turn it. Hello?
Is anyone there?
What is your name?
No.
She doesn't want to talk to me.
Is anyone there? I heard a man's voice.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't even know what she said. She was like mumbling, but it was.
Can you say that again?
Is it weird to say we hear you?
What did he say you're not about? I heard.
I heard. Hey. We got I heard.
What did he say we're not allowed to talk about? Okay, that was my question.
He said talk about her marriage.
Okay. Did you have a happy marriage?
It was all happy. It was all happy. That's what she said.
Okay, good.
How old were you when you were married?
I'm in spirit box life.
Oh. It's so hard because there's a bunch of trucks over there. How long were you married?
14.
Did it say 14?
14? We got 14.
What did you ask?
How long were you married?
She was married for 14 years, 1744 to 1758. That's the correct answer.
Nice.
That's fantastic. That's cool.
Oh.
How old was your husband when you were married?
You're not Googling over there, are you?
No. No.
I've caught cheaters in the past.
She's too straightforward.
What else can we ask?
No. I hear a male. That's a male voice. That's not a woman's voice.
Let's start asking questions.
Can I ask who's here?
Yeah.
Who's here?
What's some other things you can ask?
I still haven't got the age of how old she was when she was married.
How old were you when you got married? Like 13?
I heard alone. Hey, I heard alone.
He got it.
He also heard it.
Yeah, so then it's probably someone alone.
What was your husband's name?
What was your husband's name? Can you repeat that? It's stronger, man.
Let's walk.
How old were you when you were married? How old were you when you were married?
What is our tour guide's name, Brad?
Someone's singing. I didn't hear what she's saying though, but it sounds like she's singing.
When you guys got that 14, were you standing next to each other?
Yes.
'Cause I want to hear it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times, even through the video audio, I can determine if it was disembodied or if it was coming from a radio station.
Gotcha.
with his, the nice thing about his is I can put it into software and I can look at like how the radio is pumping through it, and then if we get a disembodied voice, it'll cut through and you can see how many pulses and radio stations it actually sliced through to be able to give us the message, because it wasn't radio chatter. So that's where it's very cool when we capture those, because you can see it might go up to 3 or 4 radio stations. I got one that went all the way across 13. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
So a minute ago, when I was standing here and they were talking, I don't know if it was picking up behind her, but it felt like there was something popping up right there.
Well, the funny thing is she also heard I am here, and then they had a spike of about 125.
Well, this was after that, like right before you walked up.
Just before I came in.
Yeah.
Static. Any numbers, Brad, at all?
It's pretty quiet.
It's okay. We're going to get you some numbers. Stroke? It's not how she died.
Sarah, keep asking questions.
All right, we're going to go for another minute or 2 before I give you guys all the answers.
How old were you when you were married?
I think that you're getting more when you ask questions. Eliza, go ahead and tell us what age you were when you got married to Charles. We need a little bit more verification from you. Eliza?
Should I try to
I come here every night, dear. I'm surprised my name hasn't popped up yet.
Because she was like very, I don't know. She was here when I was here.
25.
Did you hear 95 earlier as well?
Yeah.
25 and 95.
Eliza, how old were you when you got married to Charles?
Excited about a couple of things. It seems like we almost had a full conversation going on. Like, I am here, then you had a spike. Like, I'm good with that. Like, that's good stuff. Like, don't go anywhere with my candy. We did get one direct answer of how old were you. You can go ahead and stop your video.
Okay.
Nothing at all. Sarah, please tell me you heard something. I know you didn't have much time, but you didn't know if you were supposed to turn it on.
It was just like muffled.
Okay.
Maybe like a hey, but I was like,
We did get that direct hello as well. So I wouldn't expect hi out of a person from the 1700s, because there's not a phrase that we're going to use. So a hello, we actually heard a hello like right off the top. But anyway, welcome to Philadelphia Alley, everybody. I know Philadelphia, which is why I look directly to them. But this used to be called Jewelers Alley. The reason it's called Philadelphia Alley now is because we had to rename it after dueling became illegal and stupid. And we named it after one of the cities that helped us out of one of our many, many fires, Philadelphia. So when you guys actually go through this on your own, I don't know how long you're going to be in town, but there's actually a plaque down on the right, which is our cutoff point of how far I'm allowed to take you. We're going to talk about that. But it tells you how Philadelphia helped us out.
But Dallas didn't.
But Dallas did.
Okay. There's a rich history there.
A rich history. Because they keep their money, apparently.
Oh, there you go.
we're just generous to fall.
And we're
Sorry.
It's all
Sorry.
good.
I was kind of helping you out.
You're laying softballs up there for me, you know?
Took a second, but you got it.
So, duels. That's why we're here. Every ghost tour comes down here. This is actually the space I'm going to be retiring next year. This year, believe it or not, I was going to retire the Pinckney Mansion site. I'm sorry I didn't tell you about this, and it's only because I was getting very disrespectful ghost hunters on your end, and it was kind of, yo, Eliza, let's do this kind of BS, and that's just not how she's going to respond.
Yeah.
If they do, it's normally in a very negative manner, like a disembodied voice coming over his radio stations of 13, like I was mentioning to you guys earlier, that says, please just leave us alone. And it's not radio chatter. So I gave it a break, and every night before I meet with you guys, I cut through that lot and tell Eliza how many people we're bringing. Tonight it was I'm bringing 6, maybe 7. Again, that's kind of my pact that I had with her, and we actually stayed there a smidge longer than when I normally stay there, just because I try to keep it very brief. Like, we're in, we're out, we leave her alone. Like, that's kind of the space. But anyway, this place in particular, he's telling the same story, but I'm going to give it to you a little bit different because you're ghost hunting. You two are going to need the details. We're here for bleed over. What does that mean? When we were at the Pinckney Mansion site, we could have had bleed over from Big John's and vice versa. Even though they're from 2 different centuries, we see bleed over all the time, if that makes sense. So we're going to stir some shit up in here and then go on to the next location in hopes that we're going to hear things from both locations. That's normally how this space works. It's another reason why I'm taking it out for next year, because I have a murder mystery that I'm looking into that has never been solved in Charleston, and it'll be part of hopefully a bigger finale at the end. So I just got to find a space to connect to that particular woman that was murdered. We don't know exactly what happened. But again, back to Philadelphia Alley. There's a doctor that moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. Jason, it looks like you still might be listening. If you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl, it's not coincidence. It's part of his name, and we get it here all the time. So he moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She's an attorney helping her out with all of this cash flow that she just inherited. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after her money, so he tells Amanda, get rid of the doctor. He comes down here to Charleston to prove that he's not after her money. He's going to start his medical practice down here, make his own. So on his way into town, the coachman that he had set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a good start to his stay here. Somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen because he knew the coachman. That somebody was named Ralph Isaacs. I stopped there because Ralph Isaacs has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. We were getting the letters RI all the time on the regular spirit boxes, so I bought a digital Ouija board. It's called an Envoy. They just made it last year. It's a brand new device. I don't use it every night because I specifically bought it for this location to see if we were going to get those initials when I brought up Ralph Isaacs. And we've had it for about 6 months, and I can say at least 4 or 5 times solidly that it's shown up on that device as I bring up Ralph's name consecutively. So it's RI. Anyway, back to Ralph. He tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me. I got friends at 59 Church Street. You can rent a room. You'll be safe and good to go. The doctor took him up on his offer. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making because his medical practice is taking off. Amanda gets wind of this. She's moving down so they can get married, and the doctor gets wind of she's coming down. So he becomes known as the Whistling Doctor. Here's what I'm going to tell you about whistling ghosts. Every haunted city you're ever going to visit in the future has a cliched whistling ghost. Ours just happens to be a doctor. So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But anyway, Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. They talk about these plays on their way home. And they're arguing over the new actress that was here in town. The doctor thought she was great. Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. Another jerk move. So they go their separate ways, but Ralph has friends here in town. He goes to the newspaper and places an ad. Tells the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society, sir. Slap, slap with a glove kind of mentality, right? Dr. Ladd saw the ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Door's Alley. Let's settle this. But keep in mind, this all started over an argument over an actress. Like, it's all BS. So anyway, they come down, they took their 10 paces away from each other. The doctor turns, he points his gun in the air, and he shoots. He did not just want to kill his friend. Just wanted the courage and bravery to show up to a fight, which is often what happened at a duel, by the way. Ralph, however, has his one bullet and his flintlock, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. That's a bad move right there. The doctor didn't die, but he drops to the ground, and his friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, and he dies 10 days later on November 2nd of 1786 after refusing medical treatment. So why did he refuse medical treatment? It's 1786. He's a doctor. He probably just tried to bleed out this gunshot wound himself because he probably thought it was just lead poisoning. So just kind of keep that in mind. Every ghost story that comes down here will tell you, listen how quiet it is. You can hear the whistles from the doctor. Luckily for you guys, you don't have a video camera recording, but you do. And my voice recorder is running. It's going to be on one of these 2 devices if it's going to be there. If you're going to try this on your own and walk all the way through the alley, and hopefully you're going to turn on your voice recorders from your phones to listen to later, just keep in mind every local knows this story. Anybody that walks up and down Cumberland, the street we came in on, or Queen Street, throws a whistle down the alley. I do it every night. So I'm just one of those guys, especially since I got thrown out of here. We're going to talk about that in just a minute because that's the fun part of the story. But anyway, again, they also say, by the way, it's always this quiet, even with the air conditioners running. Sometimes those can get a little loud, but that's literally the only sound you're going to hear. On a busy Saturday afternoon, it sounds like this. I don't know why or how, but it is kind of creepy and eerie. It was also one of the most beautiful areas we have in all of Charleston. So if you're a picture taker, night or day, it's perfectly lit for all types of photos. I told you my wife went to school for photography here. That's exactly why she loves to come down here. We kind of debunked a lot of the lighting and the light flares and those kind of things that were coming from other different styles of camera. But anyway, here's how I got booted out of here. So listen up, keep you guys out of trouble. Jason's like, nope, I'm paying attention to my spirit box. This alley didn't go all the way through that way the way we came in. There was a wall up there. The reason why is because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. This was once called Cow Alley. So again, just imagine all the cows, chickens, and sheep were all down in here. And so again, this was when Charlestown was the walled city. So it was much smaller than what you guys see now. But anyway, that means the bricks are on that side are older than the ones we're standing on because they were laid first. Those bricks on the other side are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down there, along with some fingerprint swipes on others. I used to take my group all the way through here and show it off, simply because we all need to see that brick and show how far we've actually come away from slavery. However, I treat that brick the same way I do a grave. That kid's not there. That's the last place you're going to find him. November 26th of 2020. My entire group of 10 is huddled around that brick, waiting for something to happen with the devices I handed out. I know nothing's going to happen, so I'm trying to shoo them along, and it's also outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm also just trying to be respectful, not realizing I was out of bounds for tours. So I still have to follow tourism laws, even though I don't like calling this a tour. However, the new owner of the mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because she was on the tour that night and her dad's getting yelled at. Of course, that's always a good time, right? So we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. You guys all know I worked in retail management for Walmart for a good part of 20 years. I don't work Thanksgiving ever. Again, so you guys get it. Paul's laughing. He's like, poor guy. But anyway.
No, that's who I work for.
Is it really?
Yep.
What do you do there?
I'm a program manager.
Okay, so at least you're not in this. Yeah, I was a co-manager.
What I build relays to this.
Gotcha. I thought I was on vacation. So anyway, the next day after that was November 28th. The dates are relevant. We're going to get to that. But anyway, I called my partner that I told you guys about earlier. I told him what happened. He's like, dude, you're not allowed to go down far. He's laughing at me too. And he's like, you're only allowed to go down halfway. The rest of it's residential. It's out of bounds for you. So I basically had to reroute my group that night. So what I told them is I don't believe in the next story because I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. If you haven't picked up, we're talking pirates next. But anyways, before we left, somebody hears the name Anne on a spirit box. I didn't tell them which pirate we're going to be investigating. The famous female pirate Anne Bonny. So, okay, maybe we got something. We get over there, I told them a little bit I didn't know about pirates, which wasn't much because I only had one day to do quick research. And somebody else hears the number 300. I don't know what that means, I write it down. Turns out we were there on November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy, November 28th of 1720. The exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial. You guys are looking at me like, oh, that's really cool. I was pissed. Let me tell you why. I already told you I have a master's degree in creative writing. I still need facts and data in order to be able to investigate and write stories. However, pirate stories are based off of pirate lore because the written part of it happened 100 years after it actually occurred. So we don't know how true it actually is. I've read more damn books on pirates than I ever wanted to in my entire life, trying to make sure what we're going to be talking about is legit. I'm also going to tell you, this is another reason why I like to do the bleed over with this one to the next, is because that's a hit or miss location. Anne Bonny is said to be seen all over town. And I'm going to tell you why we're going to be at that specific location once we get there. So hopefully we get things from both the pirate story and the dueling story when we're over there. The gate, before we leave, I know it gets warm down here. I try to breeze through this in the summertime. This gate wasn't always here, but the archway was. Remember I told you that the alley didn't go all the way through this way? So in the event there was a loser to the duel, they had to go all the way down to Queen Street and then double back to get to the cemetery that's on the other side of this wall. So they created this archway to be able to have a shortcut to go drop the body off so they can go celebrate the winner. The wrought iron was probably put here in the early 1900s, but you can definitely tell where the archway is definitely an original part of the wall. So not a whole lot of people know why this archway is here. It's just an easement now because this is now church property. Once you step on this step, it belongs to the church. So that's just the courtyard that they use for weddings and receptions and that kind of thing on the weekends. But again, it's always locked, so you can't go through it. But let's go learn about some crazy rated R pirates, and I want you to unmute along the way so that way you can hear what the heck's going on. Have you heard anything while we've been here?
For livestock and lovely.
Lovely livestock. I told you this is where we kept the livestock for the city of Charleston.
Oh,
Did you catch that part?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is why you guys keep me around. Any numbers at all from you two?
Yeah. I mean, nothing beyond like a point 8. Yeah.
Lovely livestock.
It's actually better you didn't hear the story.
Yeah. Well, you guys see what I'm going to do to the kids at the end.
Nightmares.
You'll be fine. I got you.
It's okay. I'll sleep good tonight because I haven't slept good in a few nights.
Do you want me to turn off?
Yeah, let's go ahead and throw
Turn
your
on.
cameras.
What was that?
Do that where you guys just these
Emerald?
things happen to real time.
Emerald. I just heard emerald. Like the gem.
Which is green.
Which is green.
Discussing pirates.
We'll discuss some pirates.
I was just thinking emerald.
Yeah, emerald.
Alright, unfortunately, Sarah, muted down. It's for 5. We'll be able to explore the space. So, by the way, you guys got the chance to see how big our club can actually get. Because you were allowed to go to 20 when you were doing this, right? our city limit is 20 per group.
Okay.
Unless you have, like, if it's a school project, you gotta have one guide for 20 people, students. And there's some weekends where I see there's 25 to 28 people in some of these groups.
Yeah.
I could very well turn them in if I was a jerk, but again, I'm making, I'm doing what I need to do, so I'm fine. But anyway, I already don't have friends in this industry.
He's got the one guy.
Yeah, you're one friend.
Told us about the one guy.
Well, that's only because he contacted me about my podcast, because he was doing something on his podcast, and we just kind of became loose friends that way. So we still email each other and call each other and text. They're just kind of keep in touch. Because he's been doing it like 28 years. So if I have a question about like a tourism law that just came out or something, I just get it. What's going on? Give me this. But anyway, welcome to the Powder Magazine. We're going to be discussing that little tiny building over there with the crosses on it. First off, those are not crosses. So if you guys didn't take any carriage rides and don't know what those are, they're earthquake bolts. Earthquake bolts basically run all the way through the roof, and they're turnbuckles. It looks just like that on the other side. If we have another earthquake, like what we did in 1886, which we have not, you can turn those turnbuckles and tighten it so it tightens up the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea, it just doesn't work. Californians laugh their asses off at me every time I tell them about this because they know it doesn't work. It's an old method. The reason I bring those up is because it's part of the reason why we're here. Those are the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. The reason why is because that's the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. That building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny came here to start her new life, which is why we're here. You guys all watch the TV shows where they use that Boo Buddy, the teddy bear, with the EMF detector in it, and they talk back to you. And that's so that way the child that they're trying to get in touch with has something to recognize. Same principle. Anne Bonny would recognize this building because it's still original from her time period. We do not have many buildings this old, which is why we're here. So hopefully she's going to be here in the same 15 to 20 minutes that we're going to be investigating. Let's get into her history. First off, we need to know that the building took 10 years to build, and our story begins right in the middle of it. Does that sound like our government, by the way? Small building, 10 years? No, not at all. I'll answer for you. It's fine. But anyway, 1708. Try to follow me. There's a lot of twists here, and I will slow down on the twists so that way you guys grab them, because we're talking about a pretty raunchy female pirate here. So here's how it goes. Young lady moves here from Ireland. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Are you guys with me so far?
Yes.
Rachel, you got it?
Yeah, I just watched the leaf fall. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
No, squirrel.
So,
Sorry.
by the way, her name is Anne Cormack at this time. But anyway, they come here because they're running away from her father's angry wife. So how mad was the wife that they booted them out of the country, basically? So, and then had to land here by boat. There was no planes back then. But anyway, they land in Georgetown. That's between us and Myrtle Beach. If you have an idea, Dad bought a plantation. Mom dies pretty quickly. That means Dad is sending young Anne down here to sell anything from that plantation to help keep things afloat. Hence the familiar building. That's why she's said to be seen all over town. Anyway, back in Ireland, they say she was a badass even back then. At the age of 7, 8, 9 years old, they say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly. Notice I gave you 3 ages there, 7, 8, 9, because it's pirate lore. Nothing is ever going to be exact unless it's on parchment. So, fast forward. The building's done in 1713. By 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is stoked. Why? She's going to fall in love with one of these pirates so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. It's a man's world at this point. So, first guy she falls in love with, and yes, I said first because there's a lot of gentlemen here that we're going to discuss, and that's what makes the story so damn interesting. First guy is James Bonny. You already see where this one's going, right? We already told you her pirate name. So, she falls in love with James. Dad didn't approve. They ran away to Jamaica. They got married. Anne Cormack is now Anne Bonny. That's where her pirate name came from. So, when she gets down there, she realizes James Bonny is not Captain Jack Sparrow, like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer. He's a spy for the British. This is not who she wants. He's a coward. So, you guys okay?
I'm just joking.
Oh,
He's a little sick.
I'll be alright.
He's not. He's got asthma and it's
okay.
No, I'm fine.
You need to sit down or anything?
No, I'm fine. I'm just fine.
Okay. So anyway, a few more years go by, and she falls in love again. Guy number 2. This is John Rackham. Everybody calls him Calico Jack. This is the guy that they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you were wondering who this guy is. Calico Jack has his own ship. He has his own crew. Anne wants to be part of that crew. You can't put a girl on a pirate ship because it's bad luck. I would normally throw that question back to you to make sure everybody's paying attention, but I get some really raunchy answers here, and we got 2 14-year-olds that don't like to hear that stuff. So I was like, I appreciate that. You're welcome. Give it PG-13. But anyway,
or 14.
PG-14? That's funny. So, where was I? So Jack, he makes a deal with her. If you dress like a guy and look like the crew, you can be part of the crew, but you're going to be a female in my quarters. She's okay with this because Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to hide her from his wife. She gets it. It's a man's world. She's okay also because she's going to be a female in his quarters. Let's all put 2 and 2 together. She's eventually going to get pregnant. You cannot have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a guy, or she's a girl. Why am I getting all the genders mixed up now? But anyway, before she starts the show, he drops her off in Cuba. Go have the baby here, come back later, we'll figure it out. Kind of another jerk move. I talk a lot of jerks on this tour, don't I? But anyway, so she goes and has the baby, but returns without a child. We have no idea what happens to this baby. So you can ask all you want to, I just can't prove that whatever you hear is correct. But she also comes back dressed as a female. This makes Jack angry. Now the crew's gonna know he let a girl on the ship. And to make him even more mad, she's gonna go flirt with the pirate crew that he just captured, and they're down below deck. Guy number 3. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy, to be part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack captured. So now we have 2 females, dressed like males, on the same ship. That's why I clarified for you. So, it's in her head going like, wait a minute, what's happening? What's happening? So, this young lady's name is Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. Her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers. We're not going to really know for sure, because it's 300 years ago. But anyway, the British find out where they are. They send a whole fleet of ships to come take down one measly little pirate ship. The rumor is that Anne and Mary were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with 1-bullet flintlocks, because that's all they know how to use. Cannons are out of their question, right? So, obviously that's not going to work out. 2 ladies with flintlocks, not going to take on a whole fleet of Navy ships. They get arrested. As they're being arrested, she looks at her bow and captain, Calico Jack, and she says, I'm so sorry to see you here, Jack, but if you would have fought like a man, you would be hanged like a dog. I was waiting for you to tell me that you heard the word dog, because that does come up here often. But anyway, the judge wants to see the 2 quote-unquote men that fought back so valiantly on their own. He's already tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunken pirates that wouldn't fight. The young ladies go in front and reveal their gender, and he doesn't give a shit that they're female. They're still pirates. He's going to hang them anyway. We plead our bellies, was what they shouted back to him, because you can't hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. So he sends them both back to jail, delays the hanging, but Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne and brings her back home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4, because we're going to count Mary. We don't really know. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Very abrupt. Why? We don't know much about her after her pirate career. Mary Reed dies 5 months later in April of 1721 from whatever pirates die from in a Jamaican jail. Use your imagination. Most books will tell you it was something simple like fever. I'm going to say let's call it romanticism and make it scurvy. Why the hell not? That was April 21st, I believe was the exact date, if I'm not mistaken. It's 21st or 28th. But at any rate, so I'm not going to assign questions. I'm just going to tell you what I left out of the story so you have something to work with. I left out the name of Anne Bonny's parents. That's the father and his mistress. So you can ask Anne about those, and we commonly get the answers to it. The name of Calico Jack's ship. So I left the name of that out. The name of the city where Anne grew up in Ireland, and the color of her hair. That's an easy one. It's red. So everything else is fair game. This is not a prominent English woman that we need to tiptoe around. So again, we're going to explore the space, have some fun with this. So Brad, if you do need to sit down, there's actually a bench over there by the brick wall.
I'm fine.
He just got choked.
Gotcha. EMF detection, the closer you get to the bushes over there, parking meters are on the other side, 2 electrical poles in the corners. I usually look for the EMF on the back half where we're standing,
Okay.
to kind of see what's going on with those EMF readings. So don't get excited if you get like a 3 to a 7 as you get close to those bushes. I will tell you, we did also have, I think it was like a 40 something on your device to connect to. So hopefully we got something again. All right, let's scatter about. Let's do this. I'm going to go to the wall and have a drink as well. You guys are fully trained. You know what you're doing.
You want to come with me?
Yep.
Let's come over here. Wood? Huh?
That's a song. It's like lyric.
Oh. Oh, it's my shadow.
Is anybody here? Is anybody there?
Hmm? What is your name?
What is your quest? What is your favorite color?
Take it serious. Why don't you ask some of the questions that he has said to try?
Her name is Anne, right? Anne.
Yeah, but he said ask what her.
Anne, what were your parents' names? I heard deer.
All right, tell him, dear. Jenny. Jenny?
Yeah,
Jenny?
Jenny.
Oh, it's my shadow again. Darn shadow. Come, Sarah, stay with me so I can help.
And what was the name of your parents?
What color was your hair?
And what color was your hair?
It's not like you said what? Bold?
Bold? Bold? I sound like gold, not gold.
Okay, gold. Tell him gold.
Gold? Gold. Gold. G-O-L. I can't hear.
D.
D. I don't know if he hears me.
It's fine. You can tell him in a minute. Just keep it in your head.
And what were your parents' names?
Mike?
Mike. Who's Mike?
Mike?
Yes.
Like a bicycle?
No,
Oh,
M.
Mike. M-I-C-K. Like,
No, that's Mick. M-I-K-E.
oh, sorry.
She's dyslexic. Ask what the name of the ship is.
And what's the name of the ship you were on?
Well, boats are wood.
And what was the name of the ship you were on?
Hi, it's Sarah. Lighten up.
Pick up anything.
Nope. My shadows. Sarah, you, other people.
I don't know what activities are doing. And what was the name
Hi,
of
Brad.
the ship you were on?
What? Arrow?
She said it like R.
Ara?
R.
Aro?
It was an O. It was like R. Row. Row. Did you not hear it? You heard
Yeah, I
it.
heard that. Okay, stop walking in front of the camera.
Sorry.
Jeez. I'm like trying to get away from you and you're just walking along in it.
I mean, I know it's like a piratey term, but unless you have the word like dinghy with it, it's the only. Like Roger.
I don't think she had that.
She may have. She didn't have a switch that up.
My shadow. People.
Can you tell I have girls and I get like I can these smart asses right back to them?
Mm-hmm. And she can give it just as good as she can take it.
In London, if she were here, like there would be.
They'd be
any
teaming
joke
up?
Oh yeah. There's some nights I'm like, London, tone it down. Like, understand, I know this is fun, but I'm working. Like,
That's awesome.
you can put the dad's not cool jokes away. Even though you. But the funny thing is that she always asks me if she can come out. Like, she loves doing this. You know, she helps out with the stories.
That's
and all the
awesome.
equipment and that kind of stuff.
Enjoy the time.
Yeah, she'll be going to college. Not next year. She'll be a senior next year. Going down in Georgia. She's going to
Nice.
SCAD, so,
Oh, SCAD, that's awesome.
yeah, she's costume design.
Nice. Well, we have a.
We are all a little crazy. Aren't we?
I heard keep.
We're gonna have a freshman next year, our son.
Yeah, like keep me out.
So fill ya on that.
I heard keep me out.
Kick,
Keep me out
keep me out.
Yeah, keep me out.
and crazy.
I could just be like hearing. It was like a whole entire conversation, but it was very muffled, and that's all I heard.
What color is your hair? No, I mean just myself and the objects. Yeah. It keeps beeping like I am, but
Yeah, don't pick up little things, and the ivy wall does not help your cause.
probably that's why I started shooting a little. But then the trees and the what?
We've caught figures here before.
Awesome.
Legit figures.
I've caught them too, but they're legit, y'all.
Yeah, I'm talking people that we can't.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. That's my joking side. Sorry.
Any other words on there? Okay.
The gold spots are just the residual images. Figures.
It's their energy,
There's
right?
many theories about that. I mean, I've had figures walking towards us, like in the thermal imaging. I have others that just kind of, like you said, will be a residual. 3 figures standing behind my whole team. And they
It does not like these reflectors. It'll
What does it look like?
so it like every now it doesn't want me to. It's not. See how he just lit up,
Yeah, yeah.
That camera that he's using, I've literally
and now here's all those people back there.
Going by.
But every once in a while the light hits it just right, and it'll light up just that little portion of the
gotta catch every single thing.
It looks like somebody's head.
yeah, or just a stick.
Yeah.
And like the trees are weird because it wants them to be. It wants them to be something, and now it's not doing it. Like see how.
Oh yeah, it's picking up that tree.
Yeah, and see that it's a sign, but you think it's a person, but it's the tree.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What happened?
yeah.
Has it lit up at all?
I mean, only y'all and.
When you see something,
Yeah.
something actual.
But I also had it down. That's fine. I also had it down a lot, earlier, and I kept hearing it leave, like something, see it leave.
Yeah, that's the
Fly.
nice thing. Is like it picked up over a puddle over there. We're still 78 degrees. I'm like,
Wowza.
You just ain't picking up anything. It's too hot.
Yeah.
Putting the menu back. Alright, Mary Fran, anything? I'm gonna have to switch this up with what my original plan was, because she's doing way better. Chase, she's doing better than you, man.
Yeah, no, we're gonna switch these up.
I think it's because he hears what he
So
wants
you
to
seeing
hear.
anything crazy on the thermal?
I mean, I just have to, like, those are trees,
Yeah.
Alright,
metal.
head over towards the wall, everybody.
So you're able to, when you get a good thermal, you're able to recreate it a little bit.
I always give it to you raw. So that way, unless it's like, I'll give you screenshots, especially if it's in motion. Like that way you can see it in motion, especially if it's a copy.
The irony in him giving me this, I feel like I live on my iPad, so here I am out, still on an iPad.
On vacation, on an
And here. Here.
Could be. You heard them.
Checking your temperature.
No, it was from here. I know it was from here. And here.
Still a lot of red over there.
Couple of things.
Can I mute it now?
Yeah, please. So the only thing I'm really excited about that got my attention was Roger.
Oh.
Here's why. Calico Jack. Think of pirates. Think of the flag that you would normally associate with flags.
Yeah.
Right? So that would
Yep.
be skull and crossbones. It wasn't skull and crossbones. It was skull and cross swords. And Calico Jack actually designed that flag for the Jolly Roger. So that's the actual, and we've had the term Roger here before, which is why I'm like, good, we finally have something. No EMF spikes that you guys reported back to me, so I mean, just a very conversational type pieces, like nothing specific like the Roger that would stand out to me the way that it did. And you can kind of see, like, we've had this in the past, so that's the only reason why I recognize it right away. There's a reason why I give you guys that heated warning at the top of our night, and this is one of the reasons why is this particular space, so that's why I was asking so many questions to Brad, like, are you okay? About a year and a half ago in September, much cooler than tonight, obviously, in September, I took my group to the back, full group of 10, and the kid next to me starts to pass out. I say kid, he's probably 21, 22 years old. He's not overdressed for the weather or anything. There's no reason for him to be turning white and fainting on us. Like, that's what's happening. I had to pick him up by his armpit so he doesn't hit his head on the ground. His boyfriend picked him up from the other side of him. We brought him over to the ledge here so he could sit down. We got him some water from the vending. He's feeling better, and I then told them the story that I already told you. So it's important to know he doesn't know anything. Now, this also used to be the last stop. We got one more to go. And I used to tell everybody, go spread out, have some fun. I tell like 3 stories here and just let them have a blast with it. Those 2 guys pull me aside. Nick, we gotta tell you, we are 2 transgender males. I had 2 females dressed like males, just like Anne and Mary in the story on the tour. It makes sense, but it's also unexplainable at the same time. So I've had people have heart palpitations in here, mainly females. And I've had people that won't even come into the space. So again, when somebody says that they're not feeling well, I'm going to ask you a million questions and then do a follow-up just conversation to make sure you're not stuttering or anything like that. So that's why one of the reasons when we started talking, I'm like, all right, he's good to go. So that's part of the reason why I give that heated warning. Psychics and mediums normally don't make it past that pink dimension site, just so you know. If they're regular practitioners, they're not getting past there. EMF's way too high for them, and I make sure they do not get a spirit box. Reason why, they already have messages coming through. I'm going to just confuse the shit out of them with another set. So let's go over the answers for Anne Bonnie, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen at the next location. Paul already kind of has a little thought of how this is going to go. But Anne Bonnie, one of the few pictures you can find of this young lady where she actually has a shirt on. The reason why is because she used to bare her breast to show men that they were just killed by a woman. You have to remember, she's wearing pirate dude gear. So again, she needs to let everybody know. The names of her parents were William Cormac, Mary Brennan. This was not another subliminal trick with the name Mary. Just so happens we have 2 Marys in the story. Mary Reed from the ship, the lover, and then Mary Brennan, the mom. Mary Brennan was actually a servant for the Cormac family. You can already see the scandal in the back of your brain. It's another 30-minute story that I won't get into. I'm just bragging about how many damn pirate books I've read. That's basically all that is. But normally the names William and Mary will show up out of 1 spirit box only. It's not like you're going to hear William and you're going to get Mary. It's always on 1 in 1 phrase. It's the weirdest thing. We get it here all the time. Calico Jack. Everybody wants to see what they base Johnny Depp off of, and now that we actually have a clue to him, I kind of want to show him off even more. Calico Jack was named that because of the jackets that he wore. So the jackets came from British captains that he killed. So his father was a tailor, so textiles were very important to him. So Calico Jack basically means fancy jacket. That's where the name comes from. The name of his ship was called the Kingston. I do not expect the word Kingston to pop out of, well now, sorry, MARIFRAN. I'm like, who's got what now? Out of that particular spirit box, just because she's listening to radio stations. I'm not expecting the word Kingston to be coming out of an art DJ's mouth. You pick up more disembodied voices, and we would actually get the word Kingston, but the word king would suffice on yours, if it was a direct quote. What color is a big red barn? Blood. It's not a direct, like, solid answer like the word Kingston, but the word king would suffice in this kind of scenario, if you're getting my point. The name of the city where Anne grew up is in Cork, Ireland. It's like you cork a bottle, and obviously her hair color is red. That's an easy one. I usually throw that one at you for people that are struggling with the spirit box. So sorry, Chase, it sounds like you've been struggling with the spirit box all night. I'm actually kind of glad that Mom took over. Here's how the next place is going to work. You're going to kill me now. So we're going to be doing the Estes method. Anybody here familiar with that? Yeah. Okay, so in a nutshell, we're going to take MARIFRAN and we're going to blindfold her.
Yes, that's what I thought it was.
I'll do it.
Chase will do it.
Chase, you down? Okay, so Chase is going to be blindfolded. You got another part. Hang on. We're going to blindfold him and put noise-canceling headphones over his ears, and he's not going to know the history of the space at all. So when we're investigating the ghost, we're we're going to be hopefully getting a translation of a conversation, because he's going to tell us everything he hears in real time as I'm asking questions, and he's not going to be biased towards any kind of answers, if you guys are getting my point. So, Sarah, there's a new technology that we're adding to this. We're going to take AI and VR and combine them. There's a new app made by the same company that makes the camera that Mom's using, and what it's going to do is it's going to use the magnetometer of my phone and generate brand new images based on the magnetometer, basically our environment. So basically these images have never been created before and they've never been seen before. You're going to be describing what's going on inside your VR cam, and hopefully it's going to coincide with what he's telling us in real time. You're going to be able to hear us, he's not. But we're also going to keep the history away from you. So the two of you are going to sit on a bench, as long as parents are okay with them sitting on a bench 10 feet away from us. So that way I can give all the adults the history ahead of time. You guys can sit there and be besties for 5 minutes, and then we're going to be right back and get you geared up. There's a lot that goes into this. Are you guys okay with me putting a headset on here, by the way? Yeah. Okay. I have to ask your parents. So Paul's like, whatever, blindfold anybody in the family, let's do
Hey,
it.
he signed us up. You can do whatever you want.
So this experiment, and you're like backing away from me now. Like, what is he doing?
I'm just, go ahead.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You want me to go get you some water while we're waiting here?
There's a vending machine right across the street.
Why don't I do that?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll chill here for a minute.
I might grab some.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's
You want me
It's
to
your
just
guys'
stop
night.
it?
I can hold it.
Okay.
No, I'm fine. I've just been.
That's the wrong yellow building.
Mr. Charleston's house.
These are all houses and baskets.
Oh wow.
It is yellow.
It might be, but to me, it's a giant house.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way our houses look to me down here. They're all sideways. Anyway, first time I came down here, I told you already that this is the newest space. And again, I don't know everything here, so this is literally going to take 5 minutes.
You can do a MARIFRAN tour where you just make stuff up.
They are. That's the fun part. Is this is how I learn about this shit. And that goes for every location we've been to tonight. I don't read a book and then, because the city of Charleston told me to tell you guys about, Eliza Pinckney, it's everything that has conglomerated over the past 4 years of how that story became to be. But anyway, I only had 2 people when I first came in here for the first time, and look around, there's a lot of monuments. And I say 2 people simply because after Halloween is when I start looking at new spaces and kind of investigate, because I have smaller groups, and most people are willing to be able to investigate a new space. But anyway, and it was cold that night, so I had a cancellation. 2 people, you only have using the spirit box, the listening one. Actually, here's the name Henry, and the year 1828. I'm using what they call a digital word list. It's kind of like a word generator based off of the radio stations, and I get the name Tim on mine at the same time. This is Henry Timrod, born in 1828. So I went, well, hot damn, there's my ghost. I didn't know what we were going to get. So here's how his story goes. 2 things you need to know about this guy. First is that he was a writer, and that he was sick through most of his life. So those are 2 major facts about him. So being born in 1828, he's obviously old enough to go fight in the Civil War, 1860s, and he goes out to fight for the Confederates. So he's from Charleston, he's a native. So he goes out to fight, and his comrades realize he's too sick to fight. They sent him home, knowing he was a writer, and said, go be the voice of the war. So he came home and started writing poetry about what was going on in the battlefield. He became known as the laureate of the Confederacy. Like, they're starting to teach this guy in college now, right next to Paul. Like, it's kind of a cool thing, because it's the same time period. But anyway, so he comes, and a couple of years go by, and he has a son. You guys are going to know about the son, but they're not, obviously. The son's name was Willie. He was born on Christmas Eve, and he dies 9 months later, October 23rd. So, very tragic for Henry and his wife, Katie. I didn't tell you her name yet. And they're mourning. A couple more years go by, and he's still not writing as much as what he's contracted to for the paper he works for. And his college friend realizes this. He says, you know what, I can see like you guys are still mourning. Why don't you come out to my cottage in Columbia, in the middle of the state, leave Katie behind with her parents to mourn with them, and finish working on the piece you're supposed to be working on. So he goes out there and he writes his last words. His last words were, beholder of brief mortality, person of short life. That's what it translates to. And then he coughs, and it lands on the page in a bloodstain. The bloodstain looks like a man writing at his desk. He had tuberculosis.
Oh, no.
So, they call this the blood book. They show it 1 day a year at the Charleston Library Society, that page only, because it is very significant, because he died right on the page. And they only show it on Halloween. You got to be a member of that library society to be able to go see it, but the internet is beautiful. I'm going to show you guys the page, and then we're going to go talk to Chase as if he's Henry. And hopefully Sarah's going to be giving us images that are bloody, or something going on with writing, or based off of whatever my questions are. The other piece you'll need to know as I'm over there is that we are going to stay huddled in pretty tight to them. I know it's hot and warm, I'm glad you guys got something to drink. Did you chug that whole thing already? Is it gone?
We should.
Okay.
Glad you did.
I thought it was empty. I'm like, holy cow, you guys were thirsty. But at any rate, so I may ask things that are going to be relative to our space. Like, hey, am I wearing a gray shirt? You know, I just want to make sure we have something
Oh my
going on
gosh.
here. So you can see the blood stain. Pretty close up. Looks just like a man writing at his lips.
That's creepy.
That is cool.
But to me, as a writer, this tells his whole story. Beholder of brief mortality, cough, cough, death. And he leaves his mark.
Wow.
Poetic way to go out.
I know, right? And it's a good creepy story for us to end with.
Uh-huh.
The cool thing is, I'm not going to tell them the story. They're going to have to get it from the voice recording
Right.
tomorrow morning. So if you guys want to tell them if it was legitimate or not on your way home, by all means do so. That'll be up to
Okay.
you. But I'm not going to tell them anything, no matter how much they beg. So let's go blindfold some kids.
Okay, let's do it. I think he's having a little too much fun with us.
Yeah, yeah.
It's easy to do when you have a small group.
That's true. That's true. And parents that are like, yeah, blindfold them. It's fine.
Why you got a blindfold?
Right. Can you take out whatever it is that...
Yeah, you might want to pay attention to the instructions
Sorry.
that I'm giving them because these are safety instructions. First off, you guys need to know I'm not going to keep you under more than 10 minutes. So what's going to happen after 10 minutes is over, a family member is going to tap you on the leg. I will not be touching you at all. A family member will. If you're too loud, Chase, somebody's going to tap you on the shoulder. We can hear you. So we are going to be filming the entire thing with your specific camera, so you guys have the footage later. You can chop it up and post it on whatever socials you guys want, and that kind of thing. So you're literally going to be telling us every little thing that you hear, Chase, in real time. So don't hesitate to start talking. Once we get those headphones on your ears, you're going to start talking on whatever you hear.
He's gonna hear something through them.
He's going to hear something through the,
Yeah.
the earbuds.
Oh, got it.
He's
So
gonna
he's gonna
put-
be wearing both sets.
Yeah, because it's to make him where he can't hear anything else.
So what you're going to be doing, I'm going to demonstrate an AI image for everybody so everybody kind of knows how this works. So this will not go across your whole head. It's not going to go all the way around. It's going to be like a Batman mask. So it's going to be, you got holes here for your ears, so it's going to go over. So that's going to go to you. So have you guys ever seen AI generate an image before?
No, I have not.
So I'll do one real quick just so you have an idea of what Sarah's going to be seeing in there.
And what are you looking into?
She's got a VR cam, but she's going to be using my phone for the app.
Oh, I was like, this is
Yep. So I'm going to tell Bing, create an image of a park at night with 15 people walking through it and 6 monuments. And it didn't take it. Of course not.
Because that would be easy.
Create an image of a dark park at night with 12 people walking through it and 6 monuments. So it goes into like a little text chat, and I use this all the time for my social media posts, like so that way I have original images. I'll tell it to create skeletons with wearing a
That's
hat or whatever it
awesome.
is, and then you get this screen, and then it'll give me 4 options once it actually comes up. It's not doing anything yet. It's still working on it. So
Thinking.
it's thinking. So I'm just going to click on one image so you guys can see it a little bit. It's pretty dark.
Oh my
But I
gosh,
asked
that's
for a
so
dark park.
creepy.
So it doesn't take long, and I use it all the time. I throw my Stories in a Cemetery logo on it that my wife gave to me as a stamp, and now it's my image. I own it. So the cool thing of what's going to happen here is how this is generating images for Sarah to see, is it's using the magnetometer, basically the EMF from around us, to be able to interpret that into an image. And she's going to see that image being created, and then it's going to fit. Hopefully.
Oh, great.
Don't worry, we're in the same room.
Yep. We're
You'll
all
be
here.
fine.
I might need
And
you
we're
to
going to
hold
stay
my
pretty
hand.
close. No, you're going to be perfectly
Or
fine.
same area.
And all you got to do is describe in short terms. If you see a dark park, tell us you see a dark park. I don't want to see 12 trees and all that stuff because he's going to be talking too.
Like a dead person, do I just
Say a
You
person.
can't. A person that's dead. And that's it. I see a dead person. If I ask you for more, because remember, Chase is going to be talking. He's giving us the messages. We're all going to see your images at the end. If that makes sense.
I'm not gonna have anything that's like right next to my face, right? It will be far away. Like,
It's
my
just
fear,
on-
My fear is like having the person just like right here.
No,
in
that's
my
not going to happen.
face. Okay.
You'll be
Okay,
just
we're good
good.
because I may scream with that.
You're perfectly fine. You're in a safe environment. Folks are here.
I'll ninja anybody. Or non-body.
Let me see your VR cam. I'm gonna slide this in.
She gets tired of my
Looks like
jokes
an
too.
image was already trying to start to generate, so you may not see that. You're going to tell us everything you see that's not like moving smoke. I put that in there as ambient so you don't fall asleep under there. So go ahead and put that over your head.
Wait, what do you mean moving smoke?
You'll see. Put it up.
That's just like the standard image that you'll see.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
just gonna move around like moving smoke. You'll see.
Like
Put it on.
like somebody blew smoke in a
I'm
dark
gonna give you some
room.
instructions while you're underneath there to get it started.
Go.
Very scary.
You're gonna be just-
You'll be fine.
No.
Can you put the VR on so I can
Put
move
on.
it?
I'll come hold your hand. Here, you do this. No, we can't. We already heard the.
Yeah, it's switch.
I will describe people
Let
talking
me
to
get
me,
you
but
some
I
fresh
just
earbuds.
I cannot hear. If it's like
I have earbuds if she wants to use mine.
I got some.
Okay.
I would rather be blind and not hearing than having to look at people who are like here. That just
I think I'm the opposite. I would much rather.
You know, this whole, between the two people, this is all meant to be one person. I just separated it so it wasn't too much
Overwhelming.
for one person.
Yeah.
All right, so let's switch it up.
and if I scream I'm sorry.
Those are yours.
Would you like me to help you? Andy here.
So you got the point. You're going to be telling us everything you're hearing in real time. It's also okay to answer in yes/no questions because you don't know what I'm going to be asking. I might ask the ghost if I'm wearing a gray shirt. So I'm waiting for a yes, if you get my point. So if you hear a yes or no,
You just say whatever they're saying.
yeah. And once
I'm
you get
also
it,
gonna hear music, right?
No.
well,
Oh,
Yeah, because it's a music box.
yeah.
You
So-
remember?
The other
Okay.
piece, once
Sorry,
you
I
get an
missed that
earbud
part.
in, find a comfortable volume because you're not touching this after you set your volume. I want to make sure you cannot hear us. Okay, blindfold first. Blindfold first.
Blindfold first.
She doesn't listen.
Wait,
feel your
am
pain.
Do I take these
Blind-
off?
Take
Blindfold
those
first.
off. This
Do
is
not
my
let me
problem
run into
all
a
the
tree,
time.
Mom.
You're not getting up. You're staying sitting.
Hold on. Ears.
Miss Prissy here.
Go ahead and put that headset on for me because I got to give you a few instructions. So you're going to see a ready
Hold on, my
at the bottom
earrings.
center of the screen. You need to move your head. There you go. You already got it.
My earrings are like caught. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
So I'm going to start turning the. Do you have an earbud in yet? No.
Nope.
Grab your
Now
earbuds.
put your earbuds in.
Put them in.
Chase, you seen images yet?
Yeah, I'm seeing a little ghost man.
A little ghost man?
It's like
Put your earbuds in. She's gonna be out here all night. Worse than my own kids.
I'm right here.
I'm gonna start turning this up. You tell me when it's too loud.
Anybody want to do this so I can hold her hand?
A little loud. Ah!
Okay.
Good?
You know, we just hold it like that.
That's good. That's good.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, that's okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing actually.
I can hear
I'm not
you.
sure that we're part of the experiment.
Oh, am I supposed to put this somewhere?
Well, I don't want to. Ow! You're not supposed to hear.
I think this is a different experiment.
Oh, so I don't have to do this at all? Okay.
Okay, it's really loud. It's hurting my earbuds. It's still loud. It's. I can't get it. You need to like loosen it.
I really picked the wrong person to do this.
Yeah.
Me?
You can hear us. It's not too loud.
This is weird. I'm getting like a. Come here.
11:06. Let's huddle in.
Oh.
Can I come hold you? Can I sit down next to you?
You can. Do you want me to move my back?
Sorry. Do you need to hold your hand? All right.
No, thank you.
All right, Chase. You got anything else besides the ghost guy?
No, now it says Ghost 2 with seer sensation, mind focus,
Okay.
and
Okay. So
collaboration.
you got 3 options on the bottom.
Yeah.
You need the one on the left. So hold the center to the left.
Seer sensation.
Yes.
What am I on?
Got it.
Okay. So his images are starting.
It's like I'm at a movie theater.
Henry Timrod, if you're here, I need you to come forward and tell us your occupation, please. Or you can show us. We
Ow!
only want to.
Oh,
the
it's
thing-
going on my ear.
The thing
It
fell
dropped.
off.
I can feel it.
Good job, Nick.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, well, I should have warned you about this.
Chase, what else are you saying?
You're seeing a giant snowball.
And tell her
Oh, a snowball.
what she
That feels good.
Sarah, just listen to these voices. Don't sing and talk about anything else. No, I really don't like this.
That's right, you got this. You believe in me.
What did he say?
I believe in you, kind of.
Maybe you're studying, but this is really creepy.
It's like a fog cloud.
Tell us what you hear.
Tell us what you hear talking about.
Henry Timrod, come forward and tell us your occupation, please. You can also show us the viewfinder that Chase is wearing. It's the green box on his face. You know how this works, Mr. Timrod? You're here. We want to know it. We can hear you. Is that a word yet?
Oh, sorry. Am I supposed to do that?
Don't do that.
You hearing anything?
Huh? Are you hearing something? I'm hearing a lot of music. Familiar.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Mr. Timrod, I know I'm familiar because I'm here every day. I've been reading more of your poetry. Can you tell me what it was about? These folks are trying to learn more about your life. I'm not going to go after the typical questions I normally go after. Tell us what your poetry was about.
I see an apple on my screen.
An apple.
Like an apple tree.
Bored?
Can you tell us about what your poetry is about and what you may have seen on the battlefield? I know you weren't out there for very long.
College student?
Are we going straight into your college friend? Can you tell us his name, please? His name is Paul Hayne Hamilton, who is also a poet. Just in case. Sometimes I withhold the information because I'm trying to get through the quickness over there. But I have to follow what they're telling me.
Right.
Henry Timrod, did you want to tell us about Paul?
A restaurant.
What do you see, Chase?
We might get to like 7 images is the max that we get. It's not going to be constant.
It literally looks like the apple.
Hard year.
We are also in George Washington.
A hard year, like something like that.
Hard year. What year was a hard year? Can you tell us the exact number, please? If you can't find the number, you can tell me yes or no of 1865. Year your son died. Yes or no answer.
Hard years to come.
Just chilling in cyberspace.
What?
Henry Timrod, we're asking very simple questions tonight. I haven't poked the bear, but you're bringing up hard years. Which year was it? And if you're not Henry Timrod, because I don't have confirmation yet, who are you? Give us your first name. It's been about 5
Take
minutes.
me.
already.
Take you?
Take me.
You.
Henry, this young lady can hear you. If you're not Henry, you need to give us your first name, please.
And so,
Like, and so,
I don't know.
Henry, I need you to put your simple question like the occupation, which year was hard.
Anything else?
We're waiting on the smoke to appear.
park?
Yeah,
We'll take everything off.
big structure.
I'm sorry, I can't really think.
Looks like a water tower.
I felt like I was like,
You got very white very fast.
Looks like an old abandoned park. Should be put in this one.
We're gonna keep it because that's recording a separate session. So I'm still gonna cover it. But she needs to. Did you guys get something else to drink? Don't get up. Whatever you do, don't get up.
I can't see you, but are you okay?
Keep talking.
Fall over?
No, she's alright. She's talking to
The care and concern.
That was very sweet. I can't see you.
I'm blind, but how are
Did
you?
he take this off then? Is he done too?
We started at 11:06. How many images have you seen?
I've had two. One of an apple and one of a park with a water tower and two strange like contraptions in the middle. I couldn't tell what they were.
Okay. Let's go ahead and call it on you. We'll call it because it's been about 8 minutes. Go ahead and take off your headgear.
Alright.
And I'll take that so I can show the images to
The
everybody.
You alright?
Alright?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Okay? No, I mean, she almost fainted.
Oh yeah,
Are you
right.
okay too? You seemed okay. So.
Well, I watched the breathing. The breathing is normally, like as soon
I
as she
saw
started
that
taking those
too,
deep breaths, I watched
yeah.
her face go pretty flush. So it's kind of like, yep, we got to get her out of there. So this is the first picture that I thought I saw envisioning as I was piecing it all together for him. I don't know what the hell this means. It just looks like a man flipping me off right now. So again, this happened. I don't know what that is.
Maybe
So,
he is.
maybe, because he knows I'm here. The next image, I don't know what that is either.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. I don't know what that was.
Looks like a little like petri dish full of sand to me.
I thought it was like a mirror in space.
It could be. But it does look very granulated. Like it's got granules in there.
Yeah.
It's like cat litter.
Yeah. Or maybe pork.
baby Justin Bieber.
Pork.
How fine
I was
it
like,
is.
oh, look, I don't think that's do anything with it.
That looks like the Apple logo.
Yeah, what she said. Yeah.
So I don't know what the heck that's about. That looks very,
That's when you said poetry. Poetry and apples.
no, it's about the Civil War.
Alright.
But we are in George,
Over apples.
but we're in George Washington Park. We've had other inclements relative to Washington while we've been doing this before. I don't always bring it up. And then this looks
Chopped
like
on his father's apple tree.
an old park, like an old abandoned fun park.
Yeah.
When you said park, I envisioned what we have here.
Yeah.
But you said a water tower and some of your things.
Water tower, 2 years. Like if you're looking at that, you didn't see them. It looks like an entertainment pavilion or a...
Looks like Disney was abandoned in 150 years.
Right? So, here's what's going to happen from here. We're going to make sure she's okay. Like, I'm obviously going to make sure you guys are good before we get up and leave. With what she heard, nothing is relevant. Can I see your spirit box? We're going to stop it. I just want to turn it off. You guys keep going to the load portion of it. I don't know if it's even recorded at this point. So I'll have to wait until I see get the files. So, but anyway.
Maybe when she dropped it.
Maybe. And that's probably why she wasn't hearing much out of it, because it may have been going to a previous recording. But anyway, here's what your data page is going to look like. I'm going to call this completely unsuccessful as far as this experiment goes. Obviously, this instance does not account for this being a good, positive experience. I wanted answers out of this, not somebody fainting and about to pass out. The images, no heads or tails out of it whatsoever. So again, I'm not here to fabricate anything.
Right.
The person that used to is the one that says right. Sorry. So I had to call you out again.
Shouldn't have told him.
I wouldn't have told him if I didn't expect him to make fun of me.
I honestly would feel like a bad person if I didn't. Like I would leave, go like, man, she could have handled those jokes just fine.
Exactly.
But your data page, here's what's going to happen. When I get back to my office, you're going to get an auto text when I check in your tickets. That's a Leave 5 Ghosts on Google. We've already discussed that. If you wanted to leave a review, that's where I'm looking to build them up. Secondly, between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning, you're going to get another text from me with a, hey, here's a highlight of what I found, and here's the link to all of your data. There's also that field guide, so not everybody knew how to watch each particular type of camera, how to listen to the spirit boxes. It's all in that field guide. I also rate every single investigation so you know how active it was. I did create a scoring system based on a 2-hour increment of time, and I actually created a workbook out of it so other paranormal teams can use it. So that's starting to take off. So again, me being the publisher, I get a lot of teams that actually ask me, I know I run late.
Oh, it's okay.
But again, I decided to publish a workbook for it, but at least this way you guys will know how active it was. If I had to take a guess based on what was found in real time, I would say on the lower end of average to on the higher end of below average. So right probably in that cusp. But again, that's a guesstimate because we don't know what I'm going to find in these recordings because it's based off my spot checks as well.
What's his name? Henry?
Henry. And you guys, you heard the name Henry earlier, and no, you had Henry and then you had the name Mike. The interesting thing about that whole scenario, we're talking about Henry Timrod and we're next to St. Michael's Church. And you guys heard it within probably a minute and a half to 2 minutes away from each other. So that's when me and Paul were talking, and I was like, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to talk to Henry next to St. Michael's. But
How did you come up with Henry this thing? Because that's what it was, but I didn't hear it out until I did a lot of
Oh, you did hear
I
it.
did hear it. And then I started going to so that's when I was like,
interesting. All right, so Ubering. If you guys are Ubering back to wherever you're going, the easiest place is to go in front of St. Michael's. That's a quick pickup stop. Lots of Ubers go through there. Should have one within 2 or 3 minutes. Is anybody walking back to where we needed to, like where we started? You guys all Ubering?
probably.
Okay, interesting, because I'm going to send you guys there, and I have to go this way. My office is like 2 blocks away.
Okay.
So again, expect that text once I get back there. And as I collect your devices, of course, you guys can ask me a million questions. I'm going to have Chase get up so I can put my bag down and start collecting. So.
You doing lift?
So who was the
Let's see.
You'll have to know when you get your data back.
You look it over. I'll look at left.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
You're the
Pick up in
first person to like
5
freak out
minutes,
before I put
$19.
anything.
She's talented.
I just
put them in my head.
said no, and
No,
then
it's just
everybody else did.
Oh.
She doesn't like that.
Because you're shorter than me.
That anxiety. popped up.
Did you do Uber?
All I heard was like sounds and but what were they saying?
Yeah,
I
that's
told you.
a little bit that you did here. Yep. Yeah, you guys can just set your gear on the bench here and I'll grab
She
it.
has. Sorry.
Here you go.
Oh,
Thank you.